Hello and welcome to the inaugural Ottawa Capital Gaming Garrison podcast, affectionately known as Table Turn 2. I'm Brent Henneberry. Alongside me is Philippe.
Hey.
And also Dylan.
Hey.
Excellent. We're going to review a couple things in the gaming world this week. We're going to start off with the General's Handbook. Okay, so we have the General's Handbook here. General's Handbook 2017 just came out on the weekend. Lots of changes, lots of updates. Big things happening into narrative play, I think, with the open war cards. That also dropped on Saturday. Pretty fun. I think that they can be used effectively in the match play games as well. I think it just adds a bit of flair. What do you guys think about that?
What do you think?
Well, I think it'll be much the same as the open war cards that they just came out with for 8th edition 40k, in that as long as you discuss it with your opponent and you're willing to redraw certain cards and kind of rework sometimes, then yeah, it can make for a good game.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, because they are almost word for word the exact same cards as the 40k.
Yeah, I share that opinion. I've actually had a quick look at it, a quick look at the 40k stuff, and actually after buying them, I'm like, what's the word here? Is that the exact same thing? Could I actually play Age of Sigmar with the 40k open war cards? Anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably, now that everything, the wound rolls, the hit rolls, everything's kind of standardized with the way that it all works.
Yeah, but anyway, so there's open war. Apart from that, new general handbooks, tons and tons of new scenario to play from. There's
Triumph and Treachery for multiplayer games to, hate more than one friend per game.
So that allows you to play multiplayer, right?
Yeah, with Treachery points and Triumph points as well.
Yeah.
So in some of the games, you actually pick an enemy per turn. So
you pick an enemy per turn.
Yeah. So I could be like, Philippe's my enemy for this game. For this turn, I'm attacking you, and the next turn, I'm like, nah, screw that. I'm going after Dylan this turn.
Okay.
So
how's the point scoring goes? Is there points?
There are points. They do differentiate in each mission, so it's best to just get the book and read through them all if you want to know exactly how it is. But they put in a bunch of new missions.
Yeah.
So I think there's 6 new ones.
Okay.
Plus the ones that they put in before. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now, the real question, I guess, is are people going to be playing open play?
I'm sure that there is a community for open play.
Yeah.
But
well, Games Workshop actually threw us a curveball here by removing the compendium, right?
Correct.
So let's say I'd like to field a unit that wasn't a compendium. There is no official way for me to playing it in match play with the new rules, right?
That's right. The rules are still available on the web app Azure.
Yeah.
But they're not in this book. So all the old heroes are gone from matched play, essentially. They're still, the rules for them are still on the website, or the web app.
Yeah. So impact for a tournament scene. Compendium unit are gone from tournament scene? It's over?
My prediction, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
If it's not there...
The official rules aren't available, and if they're not continually rebalancing it, I don't see any reason why a tournament would keep them.
Yeah. So it's done.
Well,
Bretonians are definitely done.
Well, what really strikes me as odd is that a few months ago, they released pictures of Tomb King's unit costs changing.
Yeah.
So why didn't they get updated in this book?
They didn't?
They didn't.
They're
no
the same
Tomb
thing?
Kings. There's no Tomb Kings in this book. So.
Well, it could be... There was a leak. It wasn't an official release.
I believe it was official release on the Warhammer community page.
Okay.
I'll have to look into that and I'll get back next week, but I'm fairly certain that it was legit.
Because if it was It might have just been that they were showing a preview build that they then... Something happened later on and they decided, hey, it's actually better for us to take it out of the book.
Yeah.
But it is kind of weird for them to do such a double turn so quickly.
Allies, next. 2,000 point game, pretty standard point game, 400 points of allies. Any and every order player will be running a Lore Master and Phoenix as allies now.
Okay.
So
basically you get 20%.
20%
point?
Correct.
Okay.
So at a 1,000 point game, you're getting 200 points. At 2,500, you get 500 points. But let's go back to the battle host here. 2,000 points, 400 points of allies.
Okay.
So I play Destruction and Chaos mostly, but as soon as this happened, I looked through the units, and it's boom, Lore Master. +1 to hit, +1 to wound spell, Hand of Glory.
Yeah.
Stormcast players, you just put that on Retributors, and they're just going to decimate. Well, you put on Decimators, and they're going to decimate more than they want.
So,
Phoenix is a tank. Yep.
What are going to be the rules for selecting your allies?
So, go ahead.
So, with allies, as far as we can tell, or I can tell, the only restrictions are the book has to say that your primary faction can ally with it. For example, if you're playing Flesh Eater Courts, you cannot ally in Soulblight. However, the other thing is you can mix and match those 400 points. So I could ally in a bunch of zombies and some Morghasts.
Okay.
So you don't have to ally in from one particular faction.
Now the other restrictions are your allied units can't cover your battle line and they can't be your leader.
Okay. So does your ally unit need to come from the same Great Alliance
Correct.
book?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, you're not going to see Iron Jaws working with Stormcast.
Would have been funny.
It would have been. I mean, unless you want to play open play. And then, I mean, that's up to you, whatever models you have.
It would be funny.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. Other thing disappeared from the general handbook. Yeah?
Oh, one last thing on allies. The artifacts that you get, you can actually give artifacts from your main alliance into your allied heroes, if you ally in a hero.
Okay.
So special mention to some of the artifacts that buff characters.
Yeah.
And allying in a powerful character.
Oh, there's going to be some interesting trick there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wait, what were you saying? What else is missing?
Yeah, there's another thing that disappeared. Games Workshop recently came out with Path to Glory.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's no longer in general handbook.
Yeah, because they put their own book out for it.
Yeah.
And then Flesh Eater Courts broke it.
Well, not just Flesh Eater Courts.
Call to the King. In a Path to Glory game.
I would argue the fact you could bring Our Cat in the Black is slightly worse. Slightly.
Okay, well, let's just go death then.
Yeah. Plenty of interesting thing going on.
Path to Glory, new release as well from Games Workshop. Fun game. You pick a leader, and then that leader gets a certain number of followers based on their point level, I guess, in the game. Fun until you play against summoners, and then you kind of have to house rule the fact that you can't summon stuff in every single time.
Yeah.
Because
Definitely is in need of some just don't be a jerk type rules.
We have an insider story about that.
So Dylan and I played a game there this past week where it was my goblins versus his Flesh Eater Court. And I was like, let's just do summoning once per game. And he said, okay.
It seemed like it would balance it well.
Sure.
And then we realized Call to the King.
No, we didn't realize anything.
For the record, the list was not that powerful.
Until you start summoning in 100 ghouls a turn. And then it just gets out of hand.
Yes.
Okay.
I was capped by the number of ghouls I had on hand.
Which was what, 60?
40.
40, okay, 40 ghouls.
Now, for the people who haven't been following Path to Glory, the thing about Path to Glory is they're supposed to be small games with limited numbers of models. So, obviously there might be some issues there with the rules.
I'm just going to go off on a little tirade here about Path to Glory. I love skirmish style games. My favorite gaming is skirmish style. I love the big games, but I love the small warband stuff. I was so excited when Skirmish came out, bought the book, was at the local Games Workshop store, had Joe. It took me half a day to realize that this $13 book was one of the worst investments I ever made. It sucked. It sucked so bad. They didn't flesh it out, there was no nothing. You played a game, then you moved on. They had a campaign, and I'm doing air quotes here, I know you can't see, but their campaign was just 6 random missions.
There's no fluff to the campaign, really.
The fluff for Shadespire, the background of the place, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool place. Had a really good potential.
Yeah.
As soon as you brought in the game mechanics and the after game mechanics, it just went right down the toilet.
So I think Skirmish as a game mod have some potential, but you need to build house rules around it.
Yes.
It's not. I think it's great to bring people in the hobby, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a starter for people who are just starting in the hobby. It's not for people who have been there, who are necessarily looking specifically for a skirmish game.
So my point was going here too was I don't think Path to Glory is much better.
Okay.
They did a little bit more work into it, but it's a really good concept. I just don't think it works. Mm-hmm. It's fun, but that's where it ends. Like it doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
They gave some effects to heroes and your followers, but I expected more for what I hoped for. I expected more.
It is a $40 book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Have you bought the book?
I have not bought Path to Glory.
I haven't bought it either.
Yeah.
I know a single person who bought the book.
Yeah.
And he's right there.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna do it to me every time, and I will buy a book. Any skirmish game, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Because I'm just hoping that they just get off their ass and make it good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was hoping that Skirmish would actually have been included.
Yeah.
In the new general handbook, which would kind of make sense because really Skirmish is 2-page.
Yep.
Like the actual rules to Skirmish are 2-page, so it would have made sense, right?
Yeah, and then you would have had to put in the pages with the warband stuff.
Oh,
but
yeah.
That's not much.
Yeah.
The problem that I think the reason they didn't is because in the General's Handbook, they have all the units that are available. Skirmish was only the current plastic models.
Yep.
So you couldn't, what would you have done? Just made up points? I mean, I know the internet community did the points. It's just take the unit size divided by 5.
Yeah.
And that's your cost per model for the whole thing anyway. But since GW didn't even errat that or FAQ it at all, they obviously had no intention of moving anything past that $12 book.
So as far as you're concerned, Skirmish is pretty much dead, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Okay. Just like Shadow War.
Yeah.
Just gone.
Yeah.
One and done.
Yeah, food for thought there.
Alright, if we go back to the General's Handbook, I guess. Massive units, massive regiments, cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice little incentive to field an actual army, not the collection of stuff that you've min-maxed out.
Yeah, not here's my 3 units of skeletons, or here's my 3 units of 10 clan rats, and then, 8 warp lightning cannons. Well, I know you can't do that because they have a limit to artillery, but you can't just,
Yeah.
I mean, you still can. There's nothing stopping you. They increased the points on most of the battle line stuff. Not enough that I think it's going to hinder people from doing it.
Okay.
So clan rats, I'll use clan rats because I'm familiar with them. They went up in price, not very much. But yeah, if I want a full elite army, I'll just pay for 3 10 man units of clan rats.
Okay.
And then I'll just bring in all my fun killer Skaven stuff. Because, yeah, why not? Yeah. I mean, it's the same with a death player, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you still want to bring in 50 crypt flayers or crypt horrors, then yeah, okay, just do it. Or if you want to bring in nothing but big monsters, then just bring in 10 units of zombies, or 10 or 3 small units of zombies. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yes. I like zombies.
They're fun.
Yeah. I like building zombies.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorite kits in GW.
Do you want to build more zombies?
You know what I mean. Currently, right now, no, but we'll talk about why I said no later.
Yeah, we'll talk about projects a bit later. There's one thing that I'm actually really, really excited about. And we had a previous discussion, Brent and I, on this. Siege Warfare is making a return.
Kind of.
Yeah. So Siege used to be a full standalone book originally, like years back. Now it's
a couple pages.
It's 2 pages. Actually, if you look at the book, it's on page 64. The rules are actually on page 64 and 65. But really, it's to like third of a page that explain the rules. I'm excited for that because I really want to play a Siege scenario, because I don't know, first time I actually saw Siege rules was back in 2000, something like that. And I was really excited. They came out with that fortress, they came out with Siege towers and that type of things, and it was a big thing. People wanted to play Siege.
That fortress was amazing.
Yeah, the fortress was amazing, and right now I'm looking at pictures of Citadel Woods surrounding a bunch of Sylvanet. Kinda makes sense.
So to me, this looks like any Sylvaneth player playing a game of Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, it's cool that they're like, oh, you don't have to siege a castle, you can siege a forest. Or,
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. But this is just an Age of Sigmar Sylvaneth player that spammed Wildlands.
Yeah,
That's
but
all it is.
I do like the idea. I mean,
Yeah,
if you were to siege Sylvanet, it would be in a wood.
Yeah,
and
they're not going to have a castle.
I mean, arguably, the current scenery that GW has on its line does not allow you to do an actual fortress siege. I mean, yes, they have the Dreadfort, but that's pretty much it. And like, unless you're playing Chaos, chances for you to buy the Dreadfort are pretty low, right?
Yeah. So, again, like, I love that old Warhammer Fantasy Castle. It was plain.
Yeah.
It was customizable. All you had to do was just cut out a couple orc things, slap it on there. There, it's a looted castle.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just going to draw on a sign of corn. There's my corn castle.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. Now, I mean, you can't turn that Dreadfort into a free guild fortress. Yeah, we just really like skulls, but we're good. Trust me.
But you could paint rainbows on it.
Yeah,
You could.
I guess.
But yeah, it looks silly. It would look silly.
The siege phase, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Starve, batter, tunnel.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's actually the siege rules,
Yes.
right? That's how it works.
Yep. Yeah, totally.
The siege actually happens before the game starts.
Yep.
So, do you want to explain this?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Skaven, and I'm going to tunnel.
Yeah.
Because that's fluffy. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm not going to starve them or batter them as a Skaven player.
Yeah.
It's play it for thematics, and don't play it for big games, not competitive games, and you'll have a fun time. But I mean, if you bring this into a standard Age of Sigmar game, and they're like in a competitive setting, this is not going to work.
It's not meant to be played match. It's meant to be open play setting, right?
I believe so. I mean, there's no indication in here that you should play it in one way or the other.
Yeah.
Open play would work. I mean, Dylan and I were talking about this before you came over too. It's like, you know, does the defender get less points and more fortifications, or does the attacker get bigger force because they're having to go through defenses? And like, there's nothing about that. So I guess if you think about that, then it's more for open play.
But I mean, the defender gets the fortification, but then the attacker gets the siege strategy, right? They can actually deal damage before the game starts. They can pretty much destroy fortification before the game starts, and they can build a tunnel before it. So to a certain extent, I kind of feel that the bonus that the terrains bring to the table is kind of dealt with for the attacker with the actual siege tactics.
Yeah, I think you could play a reasonably balanced game if you both have match points and you ignore the price of the fortifications that you're laying on the table.
Yeah, but what about the bonuses that the fortification gives?
You should still get them.
Okay, well here's,
within reason.
Again, okay, I'm gonna play
Devil Advocate?
No, I'm gonna play Arcane Collegiate. Yeah, and I'm just gonna put 4 Balewind Vortexes in my castle.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna set up a battle wizard on each one of them. Just shoot everything that's coming at me. I mean, so it's breaking it. I know, but
I think this is another great example of a game that's really fun.
Yeah.
As long as you're playing it with someone that you can trust not to break the game.
Yeah, that's
when
a big
I find
thing.
one of those people, I will let you know.
Well, yeah, I think it's meant to be played like fun game, no stress, with people who don't like to kind of.
I mean, we here as a garrison, Mr. Tactical Genius has let us use his homemade fortress. So we have a free guild fortress, a Stormcastle, an order fortress, I guess, if we want to.
I do want to try this.
I do too.
I want to try this.
Yep.
I mean, we still have a scenario that we want to do soon. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. We got to do it before the end of 2017.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which is quickly ending.
Ideally in September, October, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, but more on that later. Anything else, guys? On the there's 2 scenarios for the siege.
Yeah.
The Great Wall, which is essentially an actual wall that goes across the table. I think Great Wall looks funnier as far as gaming goes.
Yeah.
I think this is what we're going to be using for our own.
So, well, if we're going to do Siege Warfare, I think we're going to come up with our own custom scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that they give you 2 ideas in here.
Yeah.
I don't really like either of them at all. The relief force one is cool because your attacker is just 6 inches away from the beginning.
Yeah.
But defender always gets first turn in siege. So.
You know what I think? I think Siege Warfare would be an amazing hobby exercise.
Yes.
There's tons of stuff that, like Siege Tower, like it's an iconic thing of Siege, right? You want the towers, you want catapults, you want trebuchet, you want these type of things that we do not have right now.
Yep.
I think Siege could be incredible if you take what they give you as the framework, as the skeleton to start, and from there you build your own, almost house-ruled version of it. You know, attackers get, the gates have so many wounds. Bring down the gates so you can go through the wall.
But again,
something like that.
I'm seeing a theme here because I talked about it with Skirmish and with Path to Glory, but now we're talking about it with Siege. It's here. But it's not good enough to to play right out of the book. We're again just talking about, okay, well now we got the framework. Let's just add on to it. Anyway, hopefully there'll be one day where we can just open the book and be like, okay, this is it. We're good.
So I don't completely hate the fact that it's not necessarily complete.
Yeah, I understand that.
Because then you build your house rules, how
Yeah.
simple you want to build them, right? I don't completely disagree with that. It actually reminds me when we were kids starting out and with like Dungeons and Dragons miniature and we were building rules like out of the blue.
Yep.
Like, I mean, it was fun.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
The other big thing from the General's Handbook, I mean, we can't close the book without talking about it, is the allegiance abilities and the army abilities now. Thank God they did this. So, Grand Alliance Order still gets stuff. That's cool. Now, Dark Elves, Darkling Covens get their own battle trait, their own command traits, their own artifacts. You know, they do this for Dispossessed. Thank God. I mean, it's classic dwarves. You can't not have classic dwarves in a fantasy game. I don't care how high fantasy or whatever it's supposed to be now, they're just dwarves. Just let them be dwarves. Now, I'm not saying that I don't like the Overlords, because I do. Free Peoples. Yeah, you can play Empire and Bretonnians together again. In a Free Peoples army. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could proxy Bretonnians into Free Peoples.
Fire Slayers, they got a big update, thank goodness. Yeah, they even have some battalions in this book. Battalions all went up in price, by the way. I think they did that to try and keep them away from the tournaments. Because some of them are just broken. Clan Scryer. Yeah, Gnarl Root Formation. Like they're just good. They're so good.
And you get the free artifacts on top of
Yep.
the already huge bonuses for a lot of formations.
So let's see, Seraphon, Wanderers. So thank goodness my Wood Elves get some love in this book. Pretty cool, actually. New battle traits, new command traits, new artifacts. So I want to talk about their battle trait and one of their command traits if we can. Just because,
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I love this army, and you're going to see it on the table sometime soon. But Realm Wanderers. Okay, so this is their battle trait. At the start of any of your movement phases, any Wanderers units from your army that are within 6 inches of the edge of the battlefield can leave to travel along a hidden pathway instead of making a move. Declare that this is what the unit is going to do, then remove it from the battlefield. You must then set the unit up anywhere along the edge which they left, with all models wholly within 6 inches of an edge of the battlefield, and no more than 9 inches away, or no more than 9 inches away from enemy models.
So they can move around.
Yeah. Okay, so
Good luck catching them
Yeah.
at any time.
drop them in a corner, 6 inches from either table edge, and then you're just whipping across the board wherever you want. Now,
Not too bad.
not too bad. There is a command trait called Stalker of the Hidden Paths. If a friendly Wanderer unit within 6 inches of the general leaves the battlefield using the Realm Wanderer's battle trait, it can return within 6 inches of any edge of the battlefield, not just the one it left on.
Oh.
So that just gives one unit. I mean, say I want to take it from my furthest corner and plop it diagonally across the table.
Yeah.
I can do that in one turn. I can cover the board.
You can actually go behind your enemy.
Yeah, but at this point, you're stuck there too. Before you can do your Realm Wanderers and jump around the board.
Yeah, but for grabbing objectives or stuff like that, it
Yep.
could be seriously strong.
Yeah. I think they're the... I don't want to say best
Yeah?
in here for the order. Well, I'm only talking order here, guys.
Yeah?
I think they're probably the most fleshed out of the new allegiance abilities for order.
Okay.
Chaos has a bunch of new ones as well, like Brayherd. Can you imagine how excited Steven's going to be?
I hope to see him soon. By the way, Steven, if you're listening, we want to see you soon.
And I just want to say on that, so Stephen Lowe just sent my kids up some postcards from Nova Scotia, which is awesome. Thank you very much for that, Stephen. Bray heard Slaanesh, so Slaanesh gets its own cool things now. Battle traits, the hosts, the pretenders, the seekers, the invaders. 3 different ways to play the army. Super cool. Slaves to Darkness get some cool stuff now too. Skaven gets some love. Clan Pestilence gets the most love. Definitely. The Echoes of the Great Plagues. People read through these if you're a Skaven player, because I hate Pestilence models. I don't like any of them, but damn, they're cool abilities now. Oh, they're so good. You can just give a guy a plague, and if he dies and the unit dies, then the plague just moves on. If that unit dies, then the plague moves on.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, and it just rips through an enemy army. Clan Scryer gets some love now. The Brass Orb I want to talk about, the artifact. It's like the Ghostbusters trap. You throw it down, and it just sucks something in, and it's gone. So I mean, once per battle in your shooting phase, when you do so, roll a dice. On a 6 or more, the closest enemy model within 6 inches is slain.
That simple.
I
can see a Dylan not so happy with that.
Yeah,
it's on a 6.
Nagash might not be facing your Skaven anytime soon.
It's on a 6, but I will run my general directly towards Nagash every game until I actually do it. And then I'll retire playing them. So
yeah, that would be pretty cool.
And then what I'm sure you guys are very excited for here is Death. So regular Death is cool. Deathless minions changed a bit. That's cool.
I want to talk about that a little bit more.
Go ahead. It's up to you.
So, Ruler of the Night. Both Dylan and I used to choose this all the time. I'm probably going to keep using Ruler of the Night because we're at a range of 12 inch now. Actually, so Ruler of the Night range went from 10 inch to 6 inch. So if you want that thing to be of any use, you almost have to take Ruler of the Night. But now it's not 5 up, it's 6 up.
Yeah.
Thoughts about that?
Yay!
It's obviously a massive nerf to Deathless minions, but it is a very well-deserved one.
I'm gonna miss won countless game because of this.
Oh yeah, I've ended games at as many points on the table as I started with because I just resurrect them.
You've tabled up and it's on turn 2 with that.
No.
Oh come on! That was a joke.
Well, we can see about it in the future.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Apparently, I'm not good at doing jokes.
No, I think you were fine on that one.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I think so.
That was pretty good.
Just slow on the uptake.
Okay.
I probably won't be running Ruler of the Night for most of my games.
Okay.
But that's because I play Flesh Eaters, so I'll be using their own special.
Oh
traits.
yeah, they have special stuff now.
Special mention to Red Fury.
Yeah.
That's the other command trait that was worth taking last book. Now you get a free combat phase and a 5 up.
So what it used to be was you had to roll over or under. Roll under?
Roll under the number of wounds you've caused to get a free combat phase.
So you put it on one of the Abysmal Terrors or Terrorgeist or something big that's just going to wreck face in a turn, and there's no way that you can fail the roll.
Yes.
So it just attacks twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I've noticed is the command traits overall have gotten weaker.
Are they all the same that they were?
But
yes, they're the same 6. They're just changed.
Okay.
I think Predator of the Shadows used to be a boost to save rolls, but I could be very wrong.
Yeah, I believe so. But I mean, they're the same 6 names.
Supernatural horror was there too.
Yes.
Because I'm a bad player, guys. I'm the player who does not read all these rules and just pick the first one at the top.
That's why they put Ruler of the Night at the number 1, eh? So
Like-
that's the first one people look at.
Well, that was Dylan. Like, when I started playing that, Dylan was like, oh, you can take Ruler of the Night, it's a good thing. So I just started using it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's really a good thing. But now I'm seeing supernatural horror there.
Yes.
And yeah, but I just have something that just popped in my mind. You guys know I'm using like the Banshee to kill a bunch of stuff. So I would really, really like to see my Banshee come across a big unit of like low bravery, do the scream at the unit, and then use supernatural horror on the unit and just wipe the whole unit in one turn.
Any of you guys out in internet land know that I play Skaven and Goblins, which are big, hoardy, low bravery armies.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be good for you.
Well,
Yeah, you're going to have a taste of supernatural horror.
however, you do get your bravery boosts from unit size now.
Yeah, and Skaven get a +2 to that for every 10. So I guess it's time to dust out some clan rats.
Because, I mean, with Ruler of the Night not being 5 up anymore,
It'll be nice to not have auto attacks.
yeah, you're going to be seeing that player using something else, right?
Yep. So we have...
Ring of Immortality changed a lot. I think that was the big one that they changed, that and Tombblade. Yeah, Ring of Immortality is now on a 3-up. You come back to life. And Tombblade is on a 6 to wound. You get a wound back instead of for every model you kill.
Okay, for the artifacts.
Yeah.
Does one of you remember the wording in the original General Handbook for Cursed Book?
Yes.
It was just against your general, right?
It's it's your hero. The hero that gets the artifact, it's a 3-inch bubble against non-death models.
Okay, but if you read it, now subtract 1 from the hit roll of any units within 3 inches of the model, unless the unit has a dead keyword. So that now also affects units that are not trying to go into battle with your general.
It was always like that.
It was always like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's me being a bad player, not reading the rules and just saying and using whatever Dylan's telling me to use. Alright, anything else on the General Handbook, guys?
Well, I mean, we can talk about Flesh Eaters. They get cool things now, the Delusions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anyone who knows Flesh Eaters knows that they think that they're Bretonians, essentially. So they get some cool new abilities. Is it worth it, or are you just going to play death?
Special mention goes to the Grand
Tournament?
Feast Day.
Feast Day.
So you reroll 1s when rolling to see if you get Feeding Frenzy. Feeding Frenzy is when you wipe out a unit. On a 6-up, you get a free round of combat. There's also a general command trait that gives you +1 to that cast roll. So you get a rerollable or a 5-up rerolling 1s to get to attack a second time if you wipe something out.
Okay, that's
Could be a fun little thing for a guy and a zombie dragon to do.
Yeah, but when does a Flesh Eater Court unit wipe out an entire other unit in a turn?
Yeah, depends.
I mean, it's every game. It was sarcasm. So, Flesh Eater Courts, battle traits, Deathless Courtiers, not Deathless Minions.
It's the same thing, essentially, right?
But it's only for friendly Flesh Eater Court models.
Okay.
So this is where death gets a little screwed on the allies.
Yeah.
So unless you stay... I mean, you say you want to bring in Harkon the Black. He's not going to get a Deathless Minion save.
Yeah, but you could just use, like, the Death Allegiance.
Yeah, but then you don't get your Delusions.
Yeah.
They're not that strong, honestly.
Yeah.
I see exactly. GW is like, hey, let's make some cool death stuff, and then all the death players are like, so I can have allies, but they don't get that save. Nah, we'll just stick with that. Yeah, screw you guys.
I do have a question for you guys.
What's up?
So Flesh Eater Courts actually have an army book, right?
Yes.
The stuff that's in there for battle threat, command ability, and all of that has been superseded by whatever is in the General Handbook?
What's really nice is there's no questions about that, because the Flesh Eaters book contains nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nothing. It's
was
actually kind of sad.
it was done.
Why
pre-
would you buy that book?
That's a great question.
Because back in the time, like when they put them out, we had no idea that this stuff was gonna come.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Because
mean,
they
generally,
were-
the idea behind buying
So-
a book is to get the special
So-
the special stuff for your army,
You
right?
got all the fluff.
Flesh
Yeah.
Eater, the Flesh Eater's book came out before General's Handbook.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it predates the artifact. So the only reason why I have the Flesh Eater book is for the battalions in it.
okay, all
I thought
right.
it was because Eric sold it to you with the army.
Well, I mean, that's the
So-
only reason why I'm keeping it.
For all of you think my question was a bit stupid here, that's fine. I've been playing Age of Sigmar for 6 months, so I do not know the time where General Handbooks was not in existence.
There was a time and it was dark.
Yeah,
It was
Yeah.
it was a sad time. I
Yeah.
mean, the same thing now. Okay, so Flesh Eaters, we touched on that because Dylan plays Flesh Eaters. They did the same thing for Night Haunt, so you can play a full ghosty ghost army, Soulblight vampire army if you want.
There's some cool stuff there with choosing your heritage.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff there, but meh. I'd play Death over Soulblight.
Yeah.
Destruction. Let's go look.
yeah.
We have a huge section of destruction here. We'll start out with Iron Jaws. They get some cool stuff. Really suits their army. Big fan of it. And then we get, let's see, I think is it Goblins next or no? It's literally nothing.
Two
we-
battalion.
We get. Let's see here. We get Destruction and Iron Jaws.
So they're coming out with a start collecting of Spider Rider, but nothing there for them.
It's not started collecting. It's Allies box. It's
Yeah.
400 points.
Yeah, still. Anyway, so anything else?
No, Destruction stuff stayed pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Iron Jaws stuff's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you're an Iron Jaws player, look at it. Pick it up. It's gonna be fun for you.
Okay. Anything on your side, Dylan?
No, I'm overall happy with it. I think it'll be a real shake-up for how people play.
Yeah.
How long it'll take for the shake-up to take effect, whether people will just continue playing with their old model, their old army lists, their old thing from last General's Handbook and complain that it's not as good,
Yeah.
but I'm excited. It's cool to see Games Workshop updating stuff on a regular basis.
Well, change is always fun. I mean, some
Yeah.
armies get stronger, some get weaker, but people change the way they play, and that changed the game, and that's fine.
Yep.
I'm going to play something else than Ruler of the Night.
Yeah, I'm probably going to try and put my Flesh Eaters away for a little bit and branch into a different style of death play just to try it out.
Oh, all right. So that's it for General Handbook. We have some other stuff on the table, Brent.
Yeah. We can talk about some projects that we have going on right now.
Yeah. All right.
Do you want to start with your Rogue Trader project?
Oh yeah.
You want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. So I've been bad on the last Rogue Trader project video I did. It was video 3, and it's now like 2 months ago or something like that.
But I think you said something in that video.
Yeah,
You
I
promised
said
something.
I said the Terminators and the troops would be painted in a 2 weeks period. So I was full of very good intention, guys. Now I actually started painting the Terminators, and there's some paint on all of them. All
Primer or paint?
paint.
Okay.
Now the reality is, while I was painting them, I have like that freaking huge clog in my hairbrush,
Yeah.
and it just killed me.
Yeah.
It was like I was like, I'm going to paint this thing like mostly in one night and everything, and I was going and huge clog in there. Have to take the airbrush apart. Have to clean it. Truly, like took like an hour cleaning the thing. Make sure everything. Well, when I'm cleaning the thing for a real clean, I'm taking my time, and so it's long. And I put it on the side, and then I went on and I started painting other stuff. And Terminators are there. They have some paint on them. That's all I'm going to say. There's some paint on my Terminators, guys.
So it's not dead in the water. It's just slowly progressing.
Yeah, it's not dead in the water. The project is going to happen. It will come. It's just slow. However, well, we have some cool stuff coming on this relatively soon. Just that I do want to finish one thing before starting another one. So Terminator will have a go before the rest. What about you, Brent? Projects?
Yeah.
Can I spoil something here?
Yeah. Okay.
There's a very big Tyrannid looking at me right now.
Yeah, and he's next to a very big box that actually says, "Is it Heradules on it?" Like
with an S.
Yeah, like more than one, like a big box at your house that you need to label because you have so much crap and Warhammer shit that you need a box for multiple Forge World models. Like, give me a freaking break here, people. Like, So, James, if you're listening, thank you because you make me feel better about a massive collection that's building and building. Because I can just look at this box and be like, okay, well, I haven't hit rock bottom yet. I don't have a box of Forge World models that I need to label because I have so much stuff that they just need to go in a box somewhere. So yeah, I've started a Tyranid army. It's going to be a swarm close combat army for 40k. I'm very excited for it. Got some very good deals from James.
How long till we see this on the table?
Very soon.
Very soon?
It's we're gonna go just a simple paint scheme on it. I'm working my ass off building right now. Dylan, I've pretty much told Dylan. Well, he offered, but if he didn't offer, I was gonna tell him that he's gotta come help me build stuff because not only is there probably a 3,000 point Tyranid army that is a swarm army of Gaunts mostly. That's being built, but there's another 40k army cluttering up the table right now.
Yeah.
Philippe?
Yeah, so we're also putting together an AdMech army. Rangers,
robots, tread robots.
Yeah, I mean knights.
Knights, 3 knights.
I mean, you've all seen Warhammer Community with a post saying, "Hey, AdMech Codex is coming, and you are getting AdMech Knights in your Codex." And I was so disappointed when I read the new rules for the Tech Priest, and these guys goes like, "Oh, it can only repair like AdMech stuff," and I'm like, what the hell is that? Like everywhere in every novel that you read, like there's a tech priest following like that big titan or that knight and they're repairing it like on the field. What is going on with you rules writer that make you not want us to repair these things? So I was a bit disappointed.
It probably has something to do with, you know, high wound count, toughness, save, death on legs. Just a big monster trying to shoot up
I'm
the
just
field.
going to say one thing to this. Space Marines.
Yeah.
Games Workshop do not care about that. Space Marines.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll kill everything on the table and not even break a sweat. Space Marines.
Yeah, I mean, knights are big and tough. They get a high wound, they have high toughness. You know what? You bring up the equal amount of points with Land Raiders with las guns that can be healed by tech priests. You know, or just Devastators with las cannons. Like it's
I rescind my
yeah,
statements.
exactly.
And I actually personally think that knights are easier to take down than ever.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, they lost their 4-up, they're now to 5-up. Yes, it's all around, but 5-up versus 4-up is a pretty big difference.
You have to cover half the model to get a cover save.
Yeah, and they don't have their D weapons anymore.
Yeah.
So that's gone. Anyway.
Yeah.
But we're diverging here.
Yeah.
So,
well, okay, so we got the AdMech army. We've got a new Tyranid army. I touched on it in the Age of Sigmar. I got a new Wood Elf army. It's not new, but I can't wait to get on the field. Wood Elves have always been my favorite fantasy army. and I can't wait to actually have a fully painted Wood Elf army. Because the last time I tried, I think I was 16, and it never took shape. So, yeah, 20 years later, I'm ready to have one ready.
That's cool. Can't wait to play that.
I finished painting my Tempestus Militarum army.
That's great. Can't wait to kill that.
29 models in 2 days.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
That is pretty good.
And now I don't even want to look at them ever again.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have anything else on project side?
Project side, no. We're going to get some bat reps filmed, hopefully on the weekend, get them up on the site, on YouTube too. Check them out. If anybody wants to come and game with us, just hit us up. Facebook. You all know us, so yeah, we're pretty easy to get a hold of.
All right.
So that's it for projects.
Novelties?
Yeah, the stuff that came out this week.
Or the stuff that will be coming out soon.
Yeah. So Gen Con, Star Wars Legion from Fantasy Flight Games. Like I said before, I'm a huge skirmish fan. This looks like brilliant.
Okay.
Dylan and I last weekend sat down and watched the walkthrough of it. Small 5-man squads, 2 or 3 squads, and a leader. Simple cards. It's like a mix of X-Wing and Imperial Assault. 2 other Fantasy Flight Star Wars games. Star Wars IP. I don't think they can fail at this.
Okay.
It just needs to get out there, and I think people are going to pick up on it. X-Wing's big. This is their first time actually touching on tabletop gaming with the miniatures. Like, I don't want to say that because, X-Wing and Armada and to a lesser extent Imperial Assault, because that's more of a board game. But these are all tabletop games too. But this is the first thing I think that Fantasy Flight with the Star Wars IP is going to touch against Games Workshop.
Yeah.
And I'm very much looking forward to it. The minis look amazing. We will have to see what it's going to be like when it comes out. The gameplay looked fast, looked fun. It's action and reaction style gaming, I think. Ranges are all set. You get special range rulers and stuff. There's no 36, 48 inch ranges. It's like 2/3 of this ruler. Like it's a snap together ruler to do ranges.
Okay.
So it's one piece.
Yeah.
And then it clicks in for your guns that are 2 that shoot 2, and then it clicks in again for your guns that shoot 3. So there's no it's almost 36 inches. If my ruler touches, because we've all played against that gun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost 36, or it's just over.
Yeah.
Dylan mentioned it the other day about forming up. So, like I said, they're like 5-man squads, but you only move the sergeant.
Yeah, it's gonna speed it up so much.
You only move the sergeant.
Yeah,
and then
everything. Yeah, go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah, you move the sergeant in the movement phase.
Yeah.
And then you place the rest of the models in coherency with it.
Okay.
So it gives you just a little bit more flexibility with the squad. It makes it a little more dynamic, I'm going to move the sergeant here and the rest of the squad's going to fan out in front of him and cover or fall back behind him behind a wall.
Okay.
As long as they're all in coherency of the sergeant, not each other, then you're good to go.
Ah, that's cool. You're measuring for a
a
single model.
Yeah, and then just moving the squad after.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
I like that.
But anyway, we don't know a whole lot about it. It's just Star Wars and it looks cool. And Fantasy Flight made some cool games, some good rules. So I don't think that this won't get picked up anywhere. I just hope it catches on.
Mm-hmm.
The real question is, are we going to be playing this?
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
There can't be a Star Wars game like that and we're not playing.
What else happened this week in miniature gaming? Dylan and I went out and purchased something.
Oh, really?
Dylan?
Yes.
Oh.
We picked up, or we kickstarted, or late pledge, whatever it's called exactly, the Song of Ice and Fire miniatures game. So there may, when it comes out, there may be a Stark and Lannister armies facing off against each other.
with like every single fucking character from the show.
More than one, really.
And like so many.
What's the scale?
That's a great question. I believe it looks...
Is it 35?
It looks 35.
35?
It looks slightly larger than 40k.
Okay.
But the models look fantastic. And it's Song of Ice and Fire, not Game of Thrones, so if you've only watched the show, some of them will not look as familiar, but if you've originally read the books, and that's kind of where your primary focus for the series is, you'll recognize that every character is based off of the descriptions in the book.
It does. We're looking at pictures right now, and it actually does look 35-ish, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is 35, but...
You even get the throne!
Oh, yeah. So we got everything.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay.
150 miniatures in the base, and then
Oh.
we're all pre-ordering. We're all getting some of the extra stuff and dice and terrain.
Oh, good thing they're putting terrain there.
Yeah, so, I mean,
So, yeah.
it looks fun.
It has a cool mechanic.
If anyone has played Warhammer Fantasy with your unit moving and movement trees and stuff, it's more akin to that. I'm not saying it's exactly the same, because it's not. Maneuvers and flanking and stuff are big in this game, so...
Well, that's cool.
Yep.
So, we're going to post a link to the Kickstarter on our Facebook page, so you guys can have a look at that if you want. Because
we'll do one for Star Wars Legion too.
Yeah. For everything we've talked here, actually, we're going to post some stuff there. I've been hearing these guys talk about that for a while, and right now I have a computer open in front of me showing this, and I do have to admit that it looks really cool, and that I actually feel like playing this game.
Nice.
And you can bring your support characters from the show without them being fighting on a field of combat. Like, if I bring Littlefinger in my army, he's not going to be out in the field stabbing someone with a little dagger. Rather, he's going to be playing on it's the support character thing. He's enacting battle tactics, swaying votes, hearts and minds, all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's cool. Anything else new on the hobby section this week?
I guess there's one more thing with GW that we didn't touch on. Light War comes out this week.
Yeah.
Pre-order.
Yeah. It doesn't excite me.
$210?
Yeah.
It's not a complete starter set game.
Kinda is.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's a campaign.
Yeah.
So it's set for open play,
Yeah.
I think, with campaign missions. It's supposed to be like the most famous missions from the Blight War, the war. So you get the Nurgling side of stuff, some cool Nurgle stuff, nothing new,
Yeah.
except that general on his freaking amazing looking snail. I don't play Nurgle, but man, it's got a Nurgling on a rod out in front of it to get it to go. And it has a piranha plant, because the guy is like a horticulturist, and that's what he uses in combat. Or all these special things. So he's got a piranha plant from Super Mario right in the picture. So yeah, and Nev, whatever her name is.
The assassin?
Yeah.
Yeah. She looks cool.
So one of my daughters plays Stormcast.
Yeah.
And she's like dead excited for that model.
You have to buy Blight War just for that.
And
so
yeah,
she looks amazing. Does it? So this is what I don't like right now. So Custodes, as far as I'm concerned, are Stormcast Eternals.
Yeah.
In Warhammer 40k. Now I do know their lord's been around for like ever, but the mini look like Stormcast, and now that assassin, she looks like a Sister of Silence.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
I'll give you that.
You could actually kit bash that assassin from Sister of Silence Kit.
Yeah, maybe. It's a lot more dynamic than
You know what?
Sister of
Instead
Silence.
of kit bashing her into it or from a Sister of Silence, I'd kit bash her as a Sister Superior for
Yeah, Canon S.
a Cannon S with
Oh,
two
yeah.
power axes.
Yeah, she's
Moment.
Yeah, true.
Switch the weapons around if
Yeah.
you want to.
Yeah, okay. So,
What I find interesting about
And I'm
this-
wrong. It's $190. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's not 210.
yeah. How many models in there? I mean, can you actually... Someone getting in the hobby, wanting to buy some base box-ish looking stuff, is this enough?
Yes. I'm not familiar enough with Stormcast to know if these are considered battle. Because you get the Vanguard Hunters, the Ether Wings, the Paladors, and what's the one with the crossbows?
We're looking this up right now. There's a TikTok.
Yeah.
So while the guys are...
Okay, so let's see here. You get miniatures. So you get one Horticulturist Slimex. The top is Fearsome Mulch. That's awesome. That is
Yes.
Mulch. One unit of Plague Bearers. Okay, that's a battle line for Nurgle. One unit of Nurglings, also battle line. Plague Drones, I believe, are battle line if you have Nurgle.
I will let you know that in a moment.
That's funny, is Dylan just looked up Stormcast, now I'm making him look up.
If anyone cares about Stormcast. Here, Plague Drones are not.
They're not?
Nurglings are not.
Are not?
No.
That's funny.
Plague Bearers are though.
Okay, well, okay, so...
You don't have two battle lines.
No.
No.
No. Let's see here. So, Nev Black Talon, Stormcast Eternal Knight, Zephyros?
Zephyrus?
Okay,
Whirlwind
cool.
axes.
With Whirlwind Axes and Bolt Storm Pistol. Yeah. 'cause, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, the Emperor protects, guys.
Well, all I'm gonna say is it's a box set with Nurgle versus a bunch of guys in blue and gold power armor.
Yeah,
Needs more purity
Yeah.
seals.
yeah.
Okay, so one box of Vanguard Raptors. Vanguard Raptors.
are not.
Okay. One set of Ether Wings. Large Bird's Praise.
Nope.
Nope. One set of Vanguard Paladors.
Nope.
And Vanguard Hunters, which I'm pretty sure are.
Only if your general's a Lord Aquilor.
Okay,
boy.
So no battle line.
Okay.
So open war box or open play box.
Yeah.
So I imagine it will work well if you've been wanting to add the ranged aspect to your Stormcast army, or
Yeah. Because
you want that slug, because that's a fantastic slug.
those Stormcast models are the new Stormcast models that came out this year, 2017. And they're also the more expensive ones.
Okay.
I think the 3 Paladors are 80. Those are the chicken riders.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, when you're looking at cost per model, if I had a Stormcast army, which, I mean, my daughter does, so at this point, yeah, okay, I'll probably end up getting some. But, yeah, it makes sense. But to jump into the game, no, it's not the Bloodbound versus Stormcast.
Okay. Okay. Well, there's one more thing that's coming out this week.
Oh, what's that?
30th Anniversary Marine from Games Workshop.
What did I say about Purity Seals? Because he's got the biggest Purity Seal on the block.
So, if you guys remember seeing the Ninja Turtles movies in the 90s, they had like crazy long headband. Well, this guy has an even longer Purity Seal hanging in between his legs.
He's the purest of the pure.
Is it an atonement scene?
You could even model that to be like you could just make that a giant penis if you wanted to. I mean, it's so easy.
It almost looks like the guy has a karate belt or whatever.
A chastity belt. Yeah.
And it's really long. The model does look good though. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but I'm disappointed.
It honestly looks. Again, I haven't studied the details on it or anything, but it looks like the sergeant that comes in the 8th edition starter box, just with a giant purity skill strapped to him. Like,
the only thing I see difference is apparently there's a Cruxterm and a Thux on there.
Correct, on the right shoulder. It looks like.
There's a giant, like, the mother of all purity seal there.
And he has a sheathed power sword.
Yeah.
Which looks like a knife on him, but it's a pure Primaris Marine.
So the picture that GW put on Warhammer community, I don't think allows us to appreciate the model. I guess we'll have to see on Saturday what he looks like.
So the last specialty model that I can remember just recently was the Games Workshop White Dwarf Grombrindle.
Yep.
The Christmas one, or it was a birthday one.
Yep.
Where you have a cool fantasy model.
Yep.
In Space Marine armor with a bunch of presents and a Nerf gun bolter.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
This is just like, oh shit, we forgot. Quick, throw a Space Marine out there.
Yeah.
Give him a super long purity seal. Because there's nothing... If I set him on the table with a squad of 5 guys, I don't think he would stand out enough to be like, that's my super cool 30th anniversary Space Marine.
Yeah.
Unless they might be making him as a character.
No, because it says Collector's Edition Primaris Intercessor Veteran Sergeant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
he does have a Cruxterm in Atlas.
Yeah.
Now, can that even be an option for Primaris? I haven't looked at the Primaris rules.
Honestly,
I'm not excited about them. So
I don't even think the Cruxterm Nodus has an in-game effect at the moment.
I don't even think
just,
that you can have that on non-Terminator model right now.
Veterans, all veterans, because that's just the symbol of being in the first company.
Okay.
Well,
so,
I mean, he's
Vanguard.
Yeah, so that match.
Sergeant.
Okay. All right. So anyway, there's one more Primaris coming your way with a so long purity seal. It's so long. It almost touches the ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, so that purity seal would be on the normal Marine. It would actually touch the ground.
Oh yeah, there's no getting around that.
Yeah.
Well, what you do is you get a little bit of hair dry and you do it as a ponytail on it.
Yeah, okay. So apart from that, so we've touched on project, we've touched on the new stuff. I'd like to actually talk about something that's coming in November. So November 17 and 19 in the in the Oreo region. That's what I was about to say. In the Ottawa region, more precisely in Gatineau. There's a thing that's put on by Whippoorwill Games. It's called Minicon. So this...
Is it a small convention?
It's a small convention that's...
Did you get my joke there? It's a Minicon.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's a mini convention.
Alright.
About minis.
Yep.
So
I see what you did there.
it's November 17th to 19th. Put on by Whippoorwill Games. It's going to be at Multizone, and the reason why I'm actually talking about that now is actually I find this to be depending on how they put that together, I think it could be like very exciting, like hobby wise. There's a paint competition going there. There will be events for most major games, so I'm guessing probably tournaments or stuff like that coming. And there's a lot of people among you that have shown interest in airbrushing lately. So there's actually going to be an airbrush workshop there. So contrary to what I was thinking earlier, the airbrush workshop will not be free. There's 2 different costs to this workshop, which is supposed to last a full day. You can either go for 150 or 250. Now, you might say, oh, that's expensive. It comes with swag.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the guys are from Multizone. I just came back from CCBB. Capital City Bloodbath for Batman, put on by Canhammer. Multizone was one of the... I mean, these guys, they know what to do with the community, so...
So at $250, you get a Badger 105 in there. You get an airbrush.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I do not know what the value of that airbrush is. I'm using Iwata. If one of you guys can...
80.
It's $80?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's an entry-level airbrush.
Yeah.
But still, you're getting the airbrush. And
Well, let me double check. What did you say, Badger what?
it's a Badger 105.
Okay.
So, on top of that, you're also getting some paint. You're also getting, I believe, you're getting some cleaning product and that kind of stuff. So basically, you go there and you're set.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. It's about $115. So,
115.
So, you're going to go there. You're going to buy your airbrush from Multizone, essentially. That's how it's going to work out, because
I
you're
don't
paying to
know.
go there.
I don't know.
But yeah, and then you're going to learn how to use it.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the list of technique that they're going to be showing is like pretty much what you need to be on your way airbrushing. So I don't know about you guys, but if I was just starting airbrushing, I would probably be very interested. And as a matter of fact, if there's a bunch of guys from the garrison who want to go there, I might actually go just to have a fun time with people and see how other people's are working their airbrush. So shout out to these guys. We've already shared this event on the garrison page. I think it's great. Everything hobby related happening, I think, is a good thing. So there's only 20 places available for the airbrush workshop. So if you want to go there, I suggest you show an interest quickly.
Right on. Anybody got anything else? Closing anything?
That's it for me.
That is it for me.
All right. Well, I think that's it for our first inaugural Tabled Turn 2 podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody, and follow us on Facebook, Ottawa Capital Gaming Garrison. Look us up, and on YouTube as well, Ottawa Capital Gaming Garrison. We definitely take feedback. Let us know what you think, what you didn't like, what you liked, what you want to see on the channel. I guess you can tell by now that we're not opposed to buying armies on a whim. So, yeah, let us know what you kind of want to see, and we'll try and get it for you.
Oh, and it's capital with a K.
Yeah, capital with a K. Right.
Okay, GG. Okay, so have a good night, guys.
Yeah, signing out. This is Dylan, Philip, and Brent for the Ottawa Capital Gaming Garrison. Ciao.